And we're live.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Got Marshall over here on the mic. Zach here. Today we got a special guest, Joe Gorcesky.
Yes, sir.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to MB Drifts Podcast, episode 4.
Nice. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Always a pleasure. We've been boys for so long. It was bound to happen sooner or later. I'm sure it'll happen again.
Hell yeah, man.
Right on. So, got Joe here. Just kind of wanted to talk to him and see. We've been doing kind of a little bit of interviews with some of the guys we had on, like Stacy and Devin and stuff like that. So, we got Joe G here. He's going to talk about some things and kind of give us a background of his history of drifting and what he's been involved with and what he's doing moving forward with drifting.
Yeah, Joe's been involved with MB Drift for a long time. So tell us a little bit about your car history. Let's start with that, if you don't mind, sir.
Okay, let's see here. I saw like one of those crazy YouTube videos of like the dirt bikes jumping over the drift cars and stuff. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
Dude, that's wild, right? That's what actually inspired me to want to drift.
Right.
And that must have been like back in 2004, 2005, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And that's when I decided I really wanted to do this, and I knew if I wanted to drift, I had to know how to work on the car. So I actually signed up for UTI, Universal Technical Institute.
Right.
And I went there in like April, I think 2005. Yeah, 2005, because I graduated in 2006. And I went there, and I knew absolutely nothing about cars. And I tell my students that all the time, that it's okay if you don't know anything, you don't have any experience. My dad, he was not the guy in the garage doing his thing. You know, he was a businessman. You know, I mean, we would do some stuff, not car related, you know, more like house repairs. So I really want to do it. We sent me off to school, and they were like, "You sure you want to be a grease monkey?" I was like, "Yeah, man." I'm like, "Dude, have you seen the statistics that, you know, mechanics make really good money, and there's a high demand for it?" So I went and pursued it. And during that time, I bought S13 from a friend before I left. I bought it for $300.
Wow.
Single jingle.
Oh, that's
Yep. I remember the day going to pick that thing up.
Yep. Ran and drove. Like, it had, the only problem was the clutch pedal needed to be adjusted. It was just the clutch pedal free play. That was the only thing. So as soon as we left, I went to the gas station and adjusted it and drove it home. It was awesome. $300. It was black, single jingle, left-hand drive. I brought it home, and then I saved up all my money. I was working in the plumbing industry with my dad. I saved up all my money. I bought a front clip from Malaysia, and it was right-hand drive, at HCAS turbo on it, SR20. I mean, this was my dream, right? So I ordered it from flashoptions.com, I think it was.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're out of business now.
I remember times where you had to stay up so late to call them to try to contact them to see what was up.
Yeah, because their time difference was so different, and I remember purchasing long-distance caller cards, and dude, it was a 17-digit number to call Malaysia.
Wow.
And I called them so often, I remembered it to the T, man. I didn't have to look it up. I just kept dialing it, right? And I eventually got hold of them a few times, but it sounded like it wasn't going to happen. So I had this S13 at home. I did have an S14 as well. Good old Goldie.
Yep.
That was kind of like my daily. So I graduated and came back, and I had my daily. You know, that's when I started working actually a little tire shop and eventually the local Toyota dealership. And for the most part, you know, I had Goldie to drive around every day. I had my S13. I also had a Z32 twin turbo. And I was like, man, I really want to build this stuff, but this front clip's never going to come. And eventually my mom called me one day and was like, "Hey, I think your friends are messing with you. They said that your front clip's coming to Charleston, and, you know, you need to go pick it up next week." And she thought it was a joke. And I was like, "Are you kidding me, Mom? Like, what was the dude's name?" She's like, "He sounded Asian." I'm like, "That's it." So I literally borrowed a truck from Zach's dad. He let me borrow his truck. And I borrowed a trailer. I went down there, which was this message that said I had something to pick up. And luckily, it was legit. And I picked up this front clip in this huge wooden up crate. And I barely fit on the trailer. I mean, it was like a wing and the prayer to get it. And I brought it home. And some stuff was stolen off of it. It wasn't what was advertised, but for the most part, it was there.
Yeah.
So
but it came with fenders and hood and all that.
Yep. It had
If I remember correctly, at that time, it was just good to get it, because I think how many years did it take you to get that?
It was like 2 years to get, you know, and I want to say I spent like $3,800 on it. It was some money, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got it. You know, it was advertised as a complete front clip with coilovers.
Yeah, I think it came with the rear end and everything.
Yeah,
too.
it had like numerous things, but then when I got it, it was missing some stuff.
Yeah.
And like the fenders were beat up, the hood was beat up. You know, it is what it is. But I thought, hey, I got this right-hand drive clip. I got this car. It's like 2005, 2006. Let's right-hand drive swap it. You know, and I'm an oil changer. And my techs were like, man, you're crazy thinking to do this. And I was like, well, that's what I want to do. And that's how I kind of learned how to work on cars. It took me about a little over a year to do the swap. I learned a lot along the way. You know, Zach spent many nights in my garage doing it.
Yep.
And
many
you know,
nights, man. That was a fun time though. You know, as far as like converting it to right-hand drive and just learning about what it was going, because at that time, really, you know, we had done some swaps and stuff and like worked on cars, but it was something that was your own, and you kind of had that sense of pride in it because it took so long to get to that point. It was all motivation from there, so it just kind of went quickly. And
especially when I came back from school, you know, I got with Zach, and he's like, dude, they're going to have drift events at the local speedway. I was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, the ones that we see on the internet? Like, what? Like, we're going to go to the speedway and check this out. So I went to the very first practice with Zach, and we checked it out. We just watched that day. And it was, I mean, I think I made you that day. I think I made you that day. And you and Jeff encouraged me to bring the Z back the next time, which I did. And this was Wednesday night practice.
That's right. $20 for 3 hours,
man. At least 3 hours.
3 or 4 hours
so
on a
many
Wednesday
laps.
night.
It was like, I don't know. It was definitely one of the highlights of my whole drifting career, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it was definitely the golden era.
The fun days when it was new and fresh. And
we ran like tight technical courses.
Yeah.
If you look at the courses now of back then, it's like it's super technical. It's like
and 200 horsepower was balling.
Oh yeah.
150 was pretty dang good.
If you had an SR swap, you were the man.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And then so I had the Z. The Z was completely stock basically. Besides like up the boost and the programmer and stuff like that. But I brought it out there with the all-wheel steering and all that hike stuff and
fighting you a little bit.
Yeah, man. I tried to throw down. It did pretty well. I used that for a little while, and then I had Goldie, and I switched over to Goldie. That was open diff, completely stock S14, and that's why I used majority of the beginning.
Well, like 220-some thousand miles on it.
Man. Oh man, that thing was so fun. I had a ball in it, But then you look up to you see Marshall out there with the KA, and he was ripping, and then sometimes you borrowed your sister's car, right? The CA.
Oh, yeah.
I remember seeing that thing out there, and Jeff was 2J GS300. That was awesome, man. So that really motivated me to get Pinky, as you see it now, done. But at the time, at one point when Pinky first started up and started driving, it was 8 different colors. I mean,
that's right.
The classic patches.
Skittles.
It was patches, man. Skittles. I mean, when I went to Darlington Dragway, that's what they called me. They called me Patches. I thought it was so funny. But, it was, like you said, it was my car. Not many still 80s out there.
Back then, I had the Orville Redenbacher sponsorship. According to Adam, Pippin and a Poppin'.
Pippin' and Poppin'. So, yeah, that's how Pinky it started out. And we had a great time, man. I mean, that was like the first 2 years, but then I think 2008 is when I approached you guys and saying, hey, I want to help out. Zach, definitely me and him joined.
Yep.
And just everything kind of grow it. I mean, back then, we'd have 8, 10 drivers, and we thought that was a good day. Now it's 30 plus pretty much every time.
Yeah, because you look at the old videos, even spectators, man, you had maybe 20 people.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like
we
Marshall
peaked at 30 or 32 on rare occasions, but that wasn't regular.
The evolution of the sport, and as the popularity grew, so did the crowd as well. But, you look back at those times, and it was like ghost town. It's like it looked like today's private day event was our actual events last.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, it was great though, man. I mean, it was definitely fresh, and everyone was really genuine. It was a great bunch of guys, and it was a great time, man. And just kind of took Pinky from there, and long journey with multiple shops trying to get it going. And
your struggles with that was rough.
Yeah,
seeing you go through that over the years.
It was rough, man. But I learned a lot, and I learned that I should do what you did. Kind of work on it yourself.
Just figure it out.
Yeah, just figure it out. I mean, that way if something comes up, and it's on you. If it does run right, it was you.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's where I'm at now. I mean, I rebuilt my LS3 now, and it's running great. So, pretty proud of that. Yeah, it was definitely a great time in life, man.
Yep, and you're still getting it worked on now, right?
Yeah. Actually, Angelo Argento, Silver Dragon Racing, he's tubing the rear end, kind of putting it on his diet because Pinky I hit a couple walls and some people, so the rear end was bashed in a little bit. So it was just time. I couldn't fit like a 255 without rubbing because the fenders were bashed in so much. And this is what wide body fenders, fenders.
Yeah.
It was still rubbing, so I was like, all right, it's time. So it's got a fuel cell in it now, nice tube rear end. I'm gonna do a big carbon fiber wing, chassis mounted wing, and splitter and stuff like that. So yeah, Pinky's definitely come a long way, man. I want to do a little picture of it, the evolution. The Mako paint job.
Yeah,
and then
you have stuck with pink pretty well. Once you got there, you have really stuck with it. I will say that. Like my car's going over transformation, all different types of paint schemes, and I keep changing it up from time to time. But you've really kind of kept a common theme.
Oh yeah, gotta be the pink one. Everyone always asks me, why did you choose pink? I'm like, man, when you go to a race and there's like 40 cars, I'm usually the only pink one, so it's easy to spot me out in the crowd, So it's definitely stuck with it. I like the pink. It's different.
Who doesn't love the pink, Joe? Come on.
Hey now. Let's be nice. Yeah, Pinky, man. I sold Goldie. I still actually have the Z32. I want to put SR22 VET in it one day. I have most of the stuff. I'll make it happen.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty rad. I know you've been talking about that for a long time, so once that happens, man, that'll be something cool.
Yeah, that'd be really neat, man. I would love that setup. It'd be almost like a mid-engine car because most of the cylinders would be behind the strut tower. So.
Yep.
I've seen a few people do the swap. I mean, I love the Z32. I can't give it up, man.
It's one of the greatest cars in history, man. As far as like the JDM. Well, I'm saying as far as handling being in its time, man, it was.
Yeah, I saw an article where like one of the Italian manufacturers stole the headlight design off of it.
That's right. What, Lamborghini, right?
Yeah, it was Lamborghini.
Was it the Diavolo or the Countach? One of the two had the headlights.
Yeah,
I know that. So yeah, the gold Z32, man.
Yeah, that was, man, you were driving that whenever I first met you, turning out of Canterbury a few times.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you said that, man, back in the days of going on the street, but no more of that. We all gotta keep it safe and go to the track.
I know, it's funny, every episode we do, it always ends up about like somebody doing it on the street, and it's like, nope.
Well, I mean, we had Wednesday night practice, but I don't know. I was young and dumb. What can I say?
And I'll tell you what, those Wednesday night practices, like, you couldn't ask for more seat time. I remember just like run how many
5 to 10 drivers, and you just run till you ran out of
and
tires.
Sometimes you guys
even in 3-4 hours you would just run out of tires.
And then sometimes you guys would have less than 10 because it was mandatory 10 drivers to be able to hold the event, and sometimes you guys would come through and pay a little extra to make the difference up. So if you have like 3 or 4 drivers, man, you're just out there
private day
3 hours.
I mean, dude, there's that one video up on the YouTube, me and the RX-7 dude. It was just me and one other guy for a whole Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better opportunity to learn. It was amazing, man. Good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, so you were a part of the MB Drift staff for quite a few years now and helped to build it to what it is today and build the audience that we've had. And
oh, yeah, man. A lot of good times there, right? Yeah, started in 2008. I was helping, but I did still compete. I think it was 2009? 2010. Right. I won the championship, but it was not... See, back then we did... almost every event was a comp.
Yeah.
We had... That year that I won it, it was 9 comps for the series. Wow. Which was crazy.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was nuts, man. And I legit borrowed 9 different cars that year.
Yeah, we spoke about that in our last podcast, actually.
Leech of the Beach.
Leech of the Beach. So that was the highlight. My last one, I did get Pinky back, and I did okay. But that was a great year, man. It was definitely one of the highlights. And then that year, I took that money. I think I went to the Charlotte event with Streetwise Drift. Did well with that. So it's been a long time, but yeah, MB Drift, it's definitely come a long way. Very proud to be a part of it for that long, and it was a lot of fun, man.
It's definitely a lot of growth in between from where it started till it is now, So
oh yeah, 2 different track owners. I mean, GMs, all that stuff, man. It's crazy that even through that little 2008, the economy was not very good. Yeah. I mean, and we kept it going.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a lot of big drivers that come through Myrtle Beach Drift. I mean.
Absolutely.
Tons, man. I mean, Jonathan Nairn, Ron Eberth. I mean, there's plenty of guys. I look at old lists. I'm like, wow. I can't believe these guys came back then. Now look at them.
Yeah, it's almost kind of weird that there's like that NASCAR history of all the big name NASCAR drivers came through Myrtle Beach Speedway back in the day, but also having the big name drift drivers coming through there. I mean, not necessarily that they started out there, but every year for Mustang Week, Jonathan Nairn, Vaughn Gittin Jr., they come down and they drift the oval and hang out. So it's like a lot of people have drifted on that pavement.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy to think how many tires have hit that.
A lot of talent is coming out of there. I mean, look at Joe Love. I mean, that was a guy who started MB Drift. I mean, he pretty much only did the events at the Speedway. That's where he learned. And, I mean, he dominated his year.
Yeah, he had experience, I think, in go-kart racing prior to that. So he had some racing experience. But, yeah, he has done a ton of events with us over the years. And
his dad being in drag racing and stuff, I'm sure you can kind of learn, like, suspension techniques and stuff like that, especially for getting grip and stuff like that. I'm sure he kind of takes some of that knowledge.
Sure.
Oh, I see time. I mean, it was just a really welcoming environment. We were always very, very chill, a lot of fun. We ran a little loose, but tight enough to keep it safe. Safety was number one. Yeah. Obviously,
we haven't had many bad accidents over the years.
No,
there's been a few there without us there.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, different.
We've had accidents, but we haven't really had anyone get hurt during our events.
Yeah.
Now I'd say this year alone, I think it's been more things happen than there have been in years past. And the only thing I'll say on that is just people are progressing with the sport and they're driving harder.
Yeah,
and
they're pushing it.
So when things fail, it's failing harder. Yeah,
exactly.
It's funny. You look at old videos; it was all inside clips. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then as years progressed, it started getting into
a lot more
outer zones, outer clips, a lot of wall rides. I mean, really pushed the envelope. I'd say the organization really speaks for itself, man. I mean, it's come a long way. A lot of people know about MB Drift. Everyone knows about MB Drift, man. I mean, it's definitely a staple in the country. It's got to be one of the oldest drift organizations in the country. I mean, it's
I put it up there, man.
Outside of up in New Jersey, they've been doing it for longer, I'm sure. But
Club Loose.
Yeah,
I mean,
Club Loose.
You got like Drift Nirvana, those guys. I mean, they've been around U.S. Drift. Obviously Brian, he's been around for a long time. But I mean, that's definitely one of the first. On the East Coast. I mean, people,
especially in somewhat of a small town, and we don't have the population that New Jersey and big Virginia cities.
Yeah, the population or the infrastructure to have an interstate to come to us, because it's kind of tricky getting to us sometimes. True. Traffic sucks.
Yeah. Nobody's coming from the east.
Nope.
Yeah, right.
You ain't getting nothing out in the ocean. Maybe Mario Spray out there. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Convertible on the boat.
Boat pick. That was funny.
I love the boat pick. That was so funny.
So what are you up to now, man?
So MB Drift in general has grown quite a bit. We've all built this up over the years, and now it's come to a point where we have two separate divisions.
Yeah, sure did. We learned last year that basically to run events outside the Speedway take a lot more time and just that's really it. Time and effort. I mean, it is a lot more, and it was hard to keep up with both. And then, I am a school teacher, got my kids, and then I have 2 children of my own. So, kind of branched off from that and trying to really start doing events outside of the area. But I love seeing how MB Drift is sticking with it and keep going, man. I mean, I really want to participate in some events this year. I want to compete, man. It's been a long time.
We were both going to have the opportunity to potentially actually drive and not have to be fully tied up with work and everything, and actually be able to focus at driving events again, which would be nice, because I haven't been able to do that in a long time.
I know, and that is the big plus, man. I mean, I don't think people realize the amount of time and effort it takes to put into these events. They don't just happen overnight, and it's not just a few people. I mean, it's a whole community, a whole family, and a lot of time to do it.
A lot of organization, that's
man,
for sure.
Because I can imagine being off-site, because even something at the Speedway where we already have the facility and stuff, just planning and organizing the events takes a lot of behind-the-scenes work. But then here you are going to places out of your zone, so you're making all these new relationships with different tracks and having to get all the necessary items that go into putting on the events.
Yeah, it is a lot. I mean, we know some Atlanta guys, but not a whole bunch. I mean, not a lot of them came, and we had some. So to go out in that area is definitely it's different. But really looking forward to having you guys out, and you can just kind of take a break, because I know you do a lot of the events here, and it's like every month. you're doing an event, you don't get a whole lot of drive time. So
Yeah.
love to have you out and you can just relax and go
that'd be
drive.
nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, it'd be weird.
When's the last time you got to drive and just have a chair beside your car and you just get to sit down beside your car and not have to do anything but, oh, it's time to drive again, or I feel like driving, I had a drink, relax a little bit, let me go drive for a little bit more, When's the last time?
Yeah, I mean, when you run the event, you're lucky to burn off a set of tires.
Yeah, definitely.
It's hard. I mean, it's worth it. I mean, people are very appreciative. You gotta give them credit on that. All the drivers, they would always come up and say thank you so much for what you guys do. But it's awesome, man. I mean, I love the sport. I mean, that's why I became a mechanic. Now I'm an automotive teacher, and that's part of it too. And all my students love it. They come out to the track. They're big fans of ME Drift. And all the drivers and stuff.
Some of your students have helped out in the past, and that's cool to have them be a part of it as well. Because it's like, it's more than just going to class. You can have this, it's kind of like a little field trip or extracurricular activity to where you get to come and hang out with your teacher and see what they do, especially being in the automotive industry. Obviously, you like cars as it is. So seeing that other side of things, and some of these kids may have never even thought to see, what is drifting, or have no idea what it is. They see it and they're like, wow.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty wild.
They come out, they're mind blown. Like,
Firsthand.
Oh, when they go for a ride, it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. I'm like, yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we literally buy tires to burn them off. I mean,
Because drifting, you pretty much get all access, pit access, like you would pay a lot extra for a NASCAR event.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, the drivers are all so cool. You know what I mean? You can go up to any driver and just start talking to them, and they'll give you all the attention in the world, man. I mean, and some of these kids really need it. You know what I mean? Like, I love all my students, man, and I'm there for them as much as possible. But it's really great to bring them up to the events and show them that, hey, man, there's like a bunch of people like me. Don't be scared to come talk to them. They'll love to chat with you, inspire you. Maybe you'll be that technician and you'll have a drift car and you'll be the next big driver.
Big name, big driver. Yeah, exactly.
We need somebody to take over this thing eventually, huh?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, we ain't getting any younger, man. I mean,
no
we're definitely we're getting up there in years.
Because you just gotta think about it. 15 years of drifting so far.
Right.
How many more years are you gonna have?
I don't know, man. Probably until I retire. Right?
You're gonna be like
Even
Don the
after
Dragon.
Dude, I mean, just keep going, man.
Be volunteering at 70.
Why not? I mean, it's so fun.
Instead of running the main show, you'll just be helping out potentially. But
sure.
yeah, I'm sure I'll still be involved.
Yeah, I was gonna say driving wise, he'd be like Don the Dragon. How old was he? Like 70 or something? Out there sliding around.
Dude, so awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's a good sport to get into. I mean, it's a little pricey, but I'd say
as far as most forms of motorsports, though, it's absolutely not.
Yeah,
it's not
very
bad,
cost effective. Once you get your car built and you have it set up and everything you need, really, your only costs are just fluids and tires, really.
Yeah, the biggest thing, it's easier to get into drifting because you can start with a basic car that doesn't need a ton of horsepower to still get the job done. Then as your skills progress, you can progress your car as your budget and your skill allow.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. It may take somebody 5 years to build their car, but they're progressing, they're out driving their car.
Right.
Add some parts, outdrive that, add some parts, and you can go on for, and then one day you have it good.
A lot of forms of motorsports, you have to start with a fully built car before you can even walk in the door.
For a one build right out the gate, no.
No, it is nice, especially now. I mean, think about like a 350Z. I mean, you can get them pretty reasonable, and right out the gate, I mean, weld the diff, you're good to go. It's a good time. Back in the day, we were 240s. Sure, we weld the diff, but a single jingle KA is a little tough to drift around.
It's not a lot of power.
Yeah, you can do it. I mean, Justin Bauer, shout out to him. He was the man at the single jingle.
Sure.
I mean, you can do it, but it's a lot easier I'd say now. I mean, think about it. You got 350Z, a Mustang.
Yeah, you start with 175 wheel or something.
Yeah, or even a 240 that's already pretty much set up. Now it's a lot easier than back in the day. But it's also harder to win though too. I mean, the level of competition it's starting to become, I'd say, a money game. I mean, you gotta have the speed, the power, the tires.
Yeah, we've had champions in recent times that have had pretty nice cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the advancement in the sport. As mentioned before, it's kind of crazy that on an amateur level, there's still some serious competition. You know?
Well, that's what I love about the tire limit, the small tire series. I mean, I really think it's cool. Kind of levels the playing field. Don't matter if you got 500 horsepower.
Yeah.
You only got 225s to put it down. I mean, you can be skating on nothing.
As mentioned before too, that helps you kind of learn and get creative in suspension setups and tire pressures and seeing what works for you, so therefore you can try to gain that mechanical advantage.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. I mean, Pinky's got over 400 horsepower, but I'll throw some 225s on it. Sure, man. I'll try it out, man. I'll pedal it. I'll try.
Yeah.
You know, Steven did it last year.
It's true.
You know,
Yep.
he was doing it. I don't think it's gonna be easy though. I can see spinning out pretty easy, but whatever, it'll be fun. It'll be fun, man. Let's light them up.
Yeah. So now you've branched off and created Catch My Drift, or recreated Catch My Drift.
Yeah, really did recreate it because that was my little thing back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was hard to come up with a name.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to come up with a catchy name, and actually I asked my students.
Okay.
They were like, yeah, this is cool. You should go with this. I'm like, all right. So I brought that back, and yeah, we got AMS. We got our Jams event on June 27th.
That's right.
That's a little far away in Atlanta. And then May 30th, got Freestyle.
That's right. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, local favorite of ours, kind of a local track to us.
Yeah.
You know, we've had previous events, the Sauce and Jopie there. It's
Yeah,
real
man.
big facility, real nice. You can get high speed and stuff like that. So you were speaking about having Atlanta Motor Speedway. Which courses are you doing there? Are you doing the media lot, or are you doing the road course, or what you got lined up for that?
Oh, it's a full drift day of both. We're
Oh,
gonna
alright.
we're gonna have 40 drivers sign up for the road course, 40 drivers sign up for the media lot,
Nice.
and it's drifting all day. We're gonna run groups. So the guys that buy the road course, they're spending more money, but at the same time they're getting more drifting because when their run group isn't up, they get the opportunity to go to the media lot and keep running. So potentially you're gonna have about 8 hours of drifting that day.
Nice.
So really gonna push it, man, and I think everyone's gonna have a good time. Hopefully all this pandemic stuff has calmed down by then.
Blow
And
over, hopefully.
gosh, it's been
I know we're all ready to get back
yeah,
to it.
totally
man.
feel you on that.
We're ready to hang out with the homies and slide the cars and
so yeah, get that over with, man, and hopefully even by May 30th, I think we'll be all right though. It
Yeah.
seems like other events are happening,
Yeah.
and
you keep hearing announcements on a regular basis of things opening back up, but
And again,
I
it's-
think it'll be fun.
Yeah, it's all just day by day. You know, they set the limits and then kind of change it up. So it's all day by day. None of us have dealt with this before. I just wanna smell some burnt tires again.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah, shout out to all the drivers that signed up. Today we have 21. You need a minimum of 30, but I know we got 3 more ready to sign up, so it's getting close. I think it's gonna happen, and love to have you guys out. Hopefully I get to
Right on.
slide a little bit with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had a great time at Sauce.
Oh,
Sliding
man,
with
that was
Marshall,
so
man.
fun.
Dude, for us going out there and not even really, we didn't practice
Yeah.
much.
My biggest regret was not upgrading my tires when I had
Right.
the chance, because man, when I did finally use those tires at the speedway, they hooked so well and smoked so well and lasted so long.
And that was the Federals, right?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, and that was
595
and that was
RRs.
at the
The
speedway.
RR.
They were lasting a long time, correct?
Yeah, I
so
got
you can only
about
imagine
16 runs out of a 255 45 18.
Yeah, so imagine
crazy.
at freestyle, you probably could have ran all day with the same set.
And that's like 180 treadwear or something like that. They're soft.
Yeah, 180 or 200. one of
Yeah,
those.
they're soft. That's awesome, man. But that was probably last year. I mean, Jopie was great and all, but I didn't get to drift much. But Sauce, I had so much fun. at
Yeah,
Sauce,
we were
man.
so busy at Jopie. We
Oh,
couldn't
it was
have
insane.
any opportunity.
It was insane. But the Sauce was great, man. It was just chill. You know, I got to run with you and Nate, and that was just really cool, man. We didn't get a whole lot of practice time, but I gotta say, looking at those videos, we were doing really well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could tell that we're
All the
definitely
videos
experienced.
seem to have that third driver that it kind of fell
Yeah.
back just a little bit for whatever reason, but we definitely had some good runs for sure. Yeah.
A lot of smoke. I mean, dude, it's hard. Team tandem it takes practice.
I feel like if we'd have had a little more practice,
Yeah.
we certainly would have been even.
Oh,
Yeah, because you guys
definitely.
were
Because we got
hanging
no
in there.
practice essentially.
Yeah.
We just went straight into competition with no runs under our belt.
Yeah, I mean, but we have ran before, so we were comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it showed. It definitely showed.
Do
but
know each other's driving styles pretty well, so
I'm with you though. If we changed up tires and we went out for another session, I think we would have done a lot better.
Absolutely.
You know, it's all about the lead guys got to run that really wide line. And the next guy's got to run just a little bit more shallow. You don't want to get too shallow. That way you leave room for that third guy.
yep.
Team tandem, it takes some talent, man. It takes a lot of trust and a lot of talent. But I would love to do it again. I'd love for someone to do a team tandem. You guys think about doing any team tandem events or?
Could
like that?
possibly. It's come up in conversation.
Yeah,
You know,
that's always unique.
might be something. Maybe like a Halloween Havoc 2-day event. Do the traditional team tandem or something in that fashion.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Like
Joe
back
and
then.
I won a team tandem way back in the
Oh
day.
yeah.
With the belt.
And that was 4 of us.
4, yeah, instead of 3.
That was what, me?
We
you?
had an extra degree of difficulty.
It was Pollock and Mason, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, with the wall ride, with the noodles and everything.
right.
That was a fun day, man. We were killing it that day.
Yeah.
That was a great time, man. Yeah, Pollock actually wrecked into me that day because my car stalled.
Oh man.
Bent the frame, but whatever.
Oh, shoot.
Pulled it out. It's all right. You know, things happen. It's
I
part of the
still
sport.
got the vinyl belt on my back window.
I
Even
love
though the
that thing.
window's not on the car anymore, I got it mounted on the wall as a keepsake.
Oh, that's so cool. That was cool. I love the belt. You know, that was good times, man. Good
Yeah.
times.
So May 30th is the next big thing right now. We don't have an event scheduled until July 4th.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be May 2nd, got canceled. Then we were just.
We had a June 6th. It got canceled.
Yep. So July 4th, and then may have the possibility maybe slide something in beforehand.
So
But
yeah,
we'll see.
but that's looking kind of a little bit of a long shot, but we're still got our fingers crossed on that. But right now, we just want to support Joe and his event on May 30th and try to get everybody to sign up for that. Should be a really fun time. You know, it's a huge lot out there. Always a fun place to slide.
It is also beginner friendly. You know, a lot of people are intimidated at Myrtle Beach Speedway because of the walls and stuff like that. But you know, out there at the freestyle facility, there's not any walls. There's nothing. So if you kind of overshoot your gap or spin out or anything, there's nothing to hit. So it's pretty beginner friendly as well. If you guys wanted to come out and try that as well. So
I'd say so. I mean, really appreciate you guys helping me promote it. It's gonna be a good time, man. It's gonna be a good time. Freestyle.
Yeah.
it's always fun.
All right, definitely looking forward to that. So yeah, other than that, MB Drift, we've got our July 4th event coming up. That should be a really good time. I'm sure we'll see some fireworks that day. May try to do some fun things more to be announced coming up. And then we've got our door placards. We've got our door placards and we've got our window banners all on sale and our sweatshirts. So if you're interested in any of that, please let us know.
Yep, we had just went live on our Facebook page, so we do have where we kind of showed the banners and the sweatshirt and the door cards. So if you guys wanted to watch that, scoot on over to the Facebook page.
And we'll get those pictures posted up about those items as well.
Awesome, that'd be awesome to see.
Yeah, I gotta say those window banners are really fresh. I like them. Look really good. Pulled in and saw Marshall has a little S14 out front.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Driftwives might have something
really.
kicking.
Yes, I love this plan.
She was really wanting a 350Z, but the budget on this was a lot lower, so.
You know, but that might because that's RB, right?
Right.
See, I think that might be a little easier to learn on
Right.
than the Z. You know, I mean, Z's good, but
Yeah.
240 I say is easier.
Man, this thing revs to the moon.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yes. A lot, and RBs sound great.
Yeah, and it seems like it revs even higher because it's still got the 4-cylinder tack in it, so you can rev this thing to 11,000 RPM without the tack.
Oh, dude, you should leave it like that to make like the passengers freak out. Like,
Yeah.
watch my tack, man. That's
Yeah,
great.
so it's a little bit of fun. I'm getting it cleaned up and making some upgrades to it. I'm working on a hydraulic e-brake for it and everything. Maybe roll cage, not determined on that just yet, but yeah, fun little car, cleaning it up. It's really filthy and a lot to clean up on it, but making it look a little nicer and gonna do a nice little paint scheme and everything on that.
Nice.
Yeah, looking
Have another drifter out there.
That's awesome, man. Another one. It's crazy. You think about how much it's grown in just this area.
Yeah.
You know, there's like,
Yeah, I still see people to this day still looking for drift cars and wanting to build something to come out of the track. You know,
I mean, there's got to be like 30 drivers in this county almost. You know, there's definitely 20 something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Imagine
it's,
back in the day,
Oh
it
my
didn't seem like
gosh.
we hardly had any.
I mean, dude, it was like me, you, and Kite. I mean, let's face it, that was basically
yeah, that was it.
it.
And you
man.
had people driving from like Sumter and
Yeah.
had a crew from out there, and there's a lot of people coming from a lot of places. but
Charleston
there wasn't
there
really,
for a while.
Yeah,
yeah, there
strong
really
crew.
wasn't that many local drifters.
Yeah, it was mostly like Charleston, Wilmington,
Yeah.
and Shake Flair from Greensboro.
Yeah.
That was basically the event. I mean, but it was awesome. And then like randoms, obviously.
Yeah.
It was always like a surprise random.
But it just kind of got built up and built up because when you have something that runs for 15 years, it's obviously going to have some people that are going to start to rely on it and start having more and more regular local people coming
Yep.
more and more because they feel like they can rely on it and build a car to come play around at that facility.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to build a car and have someplace in your backyard to go drive? You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
It's
Dude,
fun.
Cagel's tandem. I mean, and everyone's like super cool. I mean, why would you not want to come? I mean,
Yeah.
I know I got 2 students right now. They're trying to build one.
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
they came out a couple times like, oh, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm like yes.
Converted.
Yes.
Yep.
Nice. So outside of that, yeah, that's most of the MB Drift news. We appreciate Joe coming out. We also have the Monster Jam coming up, right?
Yep, that's going to be
Monster Jam.
June 20th and June 21st. So I believe that's a Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
They'll have that. Monster Jam is always fun, you know.
Yeah.
We do drift there during that, so we
Right.
have the monster trucks out there. We get to get behind the scenes, hang out on the pits, watch all the monster trucks, meet the drivers,
And then we got 2 different windows to do
Yep.
drifting and put on a show in front of up to 6,000 to 7,000 people in the stands.
And there's nothing like driving on the front stretch and doing some donuts and stuff, and just seeing the whole bleachers just filled and everybody's cheering, and you're like, man, it's like
Yeah.
celebrity status.
And then you get to go do an autograph session, and people are actually coming up asking for your autograph and stuff like that. Man, it's a lot of fun.
It is, and I feel like we put on a pretty good show with that.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
do a Mitsuri style course,
Right.
just doing circles coming down the front
15
stretch.
minutes or so minutes straight,
Oh, yeah.
just non-stop drifting. And
I tell you, man, the people seem like they cheer more when the drifting going on than
Yeah.
the monster truck. I mean, I'm just being honest.
we get a lot of people that actually tell us that, you know, whenever we're out there, that the drifting was so much better than the monster trucks, you know. Obviously not everybody feels that way, but a lot of people get super excited about it.
Really.
So if you got t-shirts and things like that, and if you come run this event, you could certainly do some autographs.
Yeah, and as you mentioned before, you know, that's a good thing to help build your brand as a person. You know, your
Yeah.
Instagram account, Facebook account, YouTube channel, and
Get your
stuff
name
like
out
that.
there in front of thousands of people.
Exactly. It's a good marketing tool.
Absolutely. All right, well, I guess that's probably about it. We appreciate everyone listening. We appreciate Joe coming out and joining us today. He's our homie for
These
years.
guys, my boys, man,
Yeah.
my boys.
So yeah, it was good. You know, some people will get to learn some stuff about you that they may have not have known. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's a long time ago. It's funny, man. A lot of these drivers now, like when we were doing that, they were probably like 8.
The senior drift crew.
I mean, I've run into
you're
people
not
like that
wrong.
though. You know, I have run into that. Like, oh yeah, I remember I came out there when I was like 9 and I saw you guys. I'm like, oh my gosh.
You got him for free.
Yeah. That's good stuff. Good stuff, man.
If you came and got in for free while we were drifting back in the day, let us know. Come on up and tell us.
That's so
We'd
great.
love to hear it.
I love it.
But anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you give us a like and a share. Spread the word about CMD and their events, especially the May 30th event coming up soon. And of course, MB Drift. We'd love everyone to come out and have a good time with us. We're always trying to throw down and party.
Always, Marshall. Always.
Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
Woo!